So again, I am Paula McFarland. I am the Executive Director of the Pawtucket Housing Authority. Welcome to 1139 Main Street. 1139 Main Street was purchased by the Housing Authority through collaboration with the City of Pawtucket through a grant that was funded and some money that was set aside through the emergency funds through the CARES Act. It was purchased in June. The middle of June, we did the purchase and closing of the property. At that time, after we closed on the property, we found that the property had some issues with asbestos, mold, and we did remediation of the building. It took several months for that to occur. That occurred under Nick Toth, who is my capital fund coordinator, and Frank LeVake is our Director of Operations, and his team, the facilities team at the Pawtucket Housing Authority, worked along with the DPW department with the City of Pawtucket to actually fix up the building after the asbestos and the remediation of the mold occurred. So the property is ready to be housed for many of our unhoused residents in the City of Pawtucket. And right now you're standing in the area which would be a community space along with two office spaces that can be utilized. They'll be able to have food and community services while the stay of opening of the emergency warming station occurs for the next couple of days. The back of the room is still under some minor work, which will be flooring will occur there. In that area we have two bathrooms that have been repaired and that are ready and functional to work, as well as the area for cot service. The fire department, all the fire alarm systems have been taken care of by our outside vendors, approved by the fire marshal in the City of Pawtucket, and the occupancy has been determined by the City of Pawtucket through the fire department. So the building is ready, and if there's any questions on behalf of our team here, we're more than willing to answer them.
Right, what the purchasing process, let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
Did this go through the Pawtucket City Council?
So with the purchasing of the property, we don't work through the City Council. That would be through the budget. That would be a question of the City of Pawtucket on how their budget was arrived. What happened was we are a vendor of the city. We are a partner. We are a quasi-municipal agency. As such, we were given the funding because part of our mission is to secure housing and secure opportunities for our homeless population.
No, I understand that, but what was talk to us? Let's break down in detail exactly how this was processed, who the funds actually came from. Did this come from city ARPA funds? Give us the step-by-step way down.
Funding that occurred through the Emergency Grant Act during the CARES Act that occurred. There was emergency set aside to assist unhoused residents.
Right.
And the city had worked with several vendors who could not procure anything. So then they turned to the Housing Authority to assist them with the purchasing of this grant. It's a HUD grant. It was a HUD allocation of funding that came through. All the funding would be lost, and it would have to go back to HUD. We stepped up to the plate and helped out the city to purchase this building in June. While they were the sale of this building was here, but no one else could actually do the securing of that.
Right.
So we partnered with the city to do that, and the Pawtucket Housing Authority took ownership. So we own this building.
All right, so the Pawtucket, again, was that money from HUD directly to the Pawtucket Housing Authority, or was it to the City of Pawtucket?
It was to the City of Pawtucket. It's their funding, and then the City of Pawtucket made us, we are a vendor, so we were already being funded for other programs. We run the community, the Continuum of Care program, so we are funded right now. We actually house many homeless individuals in the City of Pawtucket through the Housing Authority, and we do the Continuum of Care program. So we were already a vendor that could actually be allocated funds through that program.
And what is the zoning here?
Well, specifically to house homeless individuals as a warming shelter or as a permanent supportive housing?
So it was actually as a shelter component. Whether or not that's a permanent aspect, that would actually be a decision of the state.
Yep.
Right now it's being utilized as a warming shelter, a temporary warming shelter.
So it doesn't have to go through CES to be admitted here or anything like that?
Not through the city because it's city funded. We have not utilized any state funding for that to occur.
So 133 people can actually be in here at one time?
Yes.
How many beds are going to be here available?
16.
16
That's
beds.
all we have
So only 16
allocated.
people can actually sleep here at a
Correct.
time? Is there going to be like shifts? Like, is it first come, first serve? How does this work?
So that'll be for the provider, whoever the provider is that the city is working with, and I think the provider is here and could answer those questions for you.
So there'll be an independent vendor provider.
Correct.
So Pawtucket Housing Authority, will there be staff members here to help as well, or is that just?
We're an owner, and we're here to help to set up. We are not here to staff it.
Can we see ask questions of the provider then?
That's up to, they're here.
Maybe a representative of the administration would like to join us?
How much money did it cost? Can you give me that figure?
So it was about $600,000 for the building. I think it was around $630 that we paid, plus all the whatever the closing that occurred. We had there was some additional bills that were outstanding. Then we did the fire alarm system. We did the remediation of the asbestos and mold that was occurring in the building. So we brought it up so it would be a healthy environment.
So all in all, if you had to estimate, 600,000 for the building, then all of those remediation efforts.
So we're probably in the 700 range, probably at this point. After we get all the invoices, we're still invoicing. We just finished a lot of the work. It took 6 months. I mean, I think that was a wonderful time frame. I have to give a lot of, kudos to not only the administration for their team at the DPW, but also our team, because this work doesn't happen. A remediation and getting vendors in here and getting this building open within such a short time period is not a usual thing. It's very unusual for that to occur.
And still some work to be done. I'm looking back there. You said there's going to be flooring and stuff. When can we anticipate that being done by? Because I know the temperatures start to drop tonight.
Yes. Well, they don't need flooring. There will be cots located
Cots
in there.
back
So
there, okay.
it's all ready to go.
Okay.
The flooring is just a cosmetic feature. So
Okay.
many people, you can live without the flooring aspect. It's really the cots will be the most important thing. We hope to finish it soon. As you know, supply chains is a very difficult thing right now with supply chains. We ran out of stock of flooring, but we hope soon that we will be able to get that additional stock of flooring, and we'll finish the project then.
When are the cots coming in?
I don't
Here
know. They should be here shortly.
Should be here shortly.
Yes. Yep.
Blankets and pillows as well.
We have a whole team over there working on it. The city's been working very hard with opportunity. I think it's the Elijah Project that's been helping them as one of the nonprofits here. So we should thank them as well that they've been providing with additional resources that we can use. And we'll be adding to those additional resources. Pawtucket Housing will be adding to the needs: water, paper towels, cleaning supplies, toilet paper. So we're all here to help. This is a joint effort.
Is there any in-buy, out-buy rules regarding this weekend or going forward?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
In-buy, out-buy rules. In other words, a number of
That would be
shelters.
a vendor question.
Can we get that involved in this right now?
Brother Gary? Yeah. You guys running it, right? Sure.
Great, perfect.
Mike,
Okay.
quick.
You all good with me? Thank
No,
you.
you get to say.
Just put this in your pocket. Okay.
Gary, Brother Gary, if you could come over here just kind of as a team. So, Brother Gary, give us, if you can, just so we can inform the public what the operating rules. I know this is, working to get this for this weekend. This is going to be a brutal weekend, so congratulations on your continued efforts in the city. What are the rules for this weekend?
I just think that we want to shelter the homeless and make sure that they're provided with the right, equipment for this national disaster weather. So, yeah, and provide them the service what we need. The mayor's doing a good job, so he honored himself. So I appreciate that working with him. So,
Brother Gary, we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's issues at 92 East Avenue, which is the location you run for Black
Right.
Lives Matter Rhode
Yeah.
Island. You wanted to get some people here. Have you been talking to those
Yeah.
folks that have utilized that space? Are they going to be coming here?
Yeah.
How are they getting over here?
so we talked about Okay, so we talked about getting a bus, a city bus, and really transporting them. Some of them.
Mayor signed off on that? He's going to try
No,
to get
I don't
some-
know about the mayor. I didn't talk to the mayor, but
Who'd you talk to?
I talked to some of his city officials.
And city officials said there's
Yeah.
possible we can get you a bus to bring
Yeah.
those people over?
Yeah.
How many people,
I don't know as much as possible, but I know we want to stick by the guidelines. 16 people first.
16 people first?
Yeah.
Yeah, the community space can feed.
Right.
People can come in and have coffee.
Yeah.
They can relax. They can get warm. They can get resources
Yeah.
that they need, and we have set up in here that they can do that. The capacity for us at this point is 16 cots that can
Right.
sleep and stay and sleep over a period of time. So, Brother Gary we'll be working with those people coming in and out of the facility as need be. So maybe will be some different shifts so people can get some
Right.
sleep, so they can sleep back there, then come and enjoy
Right.
some food. So there'll be movement, a lot of movement between
Right.
these two rooms.
And 24/7 this weekend, definitely. But after that, are we seeing a shift in hours? Or are we going to keep this as a temporary warming station round the clock?
Well, we have applied to the state, and we continue those conversations. Those conversations have been ongoing since February of this year. The Pawtucket Housing Authority put in several applications to the state of Rhode Island to ask for funding to help with a vendor. So again, the Housing Authority is not a vendor, but we want somebody to be here. We want to make sure that all residents of the city of Pawtucket
Right.
have a safe environment when they're unhoused at this point.
And Brother Gary, you're just the vendor for this weekend, as far as you know.
Yes, as far as I know, you know.
Would you
and-
be interested in taking this over full-time?
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't see why not. You know that we could. I mean, we've been meeting on the board, me and you, for a while.
Yes, we have. I've been going to
And,
all of their meetings.
Yeah, so we've been going on for 2 years now with meetings. So it'd be great if we could, you know. But I'll stick with the week. And that'd be
See how the
great.
weekend goes?
Yeah, let's see how it goes. I think the city of Pawtucket is doing a good job. You know, the whole administration. So.
Are you
yeah.
worried that there could be like a rush on the resources? Maybe just too many people needing this space, needing a coffee, needing a place to use the bathroom, needing a place to
Absolutely.
just get. Are you worried about that?
No. We're gonna hire staff, and this is what we do. This is our community. This is Pawtucket, so we take care of our community.
How many staff members you got here?
I'm gonna have like at least about 12 or 13.
12 or 13?
Yeah.
Working, what kind of shifts are we working here?
We're gonna do like a routine shift, like overnight, and make sure to provide it with the right service.
Are your volunteers ready to go?
Yes.
They excited?
Yep. They're always ready to go. So we would like to change the demographics of the city of Pawtucket. So we're working with us, and it's about time. So we appreciate the community and the city too as well. So they're doing it. They honor themselves. So we like that. The mayor's doing a good job.
So you're happy with this outcome?
Yes.
You're happy with this outcome?
Absolutely.
This has been Mayor Garbian's vision to have a building, to have a location, I think after the church closed up. And we've worked really hard along with Brother Gary and other partners to actually secure a permanent shelter space. If all we can do this weekend is to do an emergency shelter space and we have permission to do that, we want to make sure, and I'm sure I can speak for the administration and for the mayor of the city, that he wants to make sure that every resident has a place to go to stay warm during the fact that this weather condition hasn't happened, as we've been told, since 2016. So this is going to be a very brutal Arctic blast that we have coming in, and we want to make sure that every resident in the city of Pawtucket has a safe place to go to. We know other communities are opening up warming stations and libraries and other facilities throughout the state of Rhode Island. So I think that, to Brother Gary said, to this administration, to the mayor of the city, on his behalf of doing this, I give them a lot of congratulations, because this has really
Yes.
took a lot of hard work, a
Yes.
lot of time on all of their staff people, on the city,
Good
and
job.
as well as our team. And I'm sure as Brother Gary's volunteers come in, this will be, a true partnership of all of us coming together to protect all the residents in the city.
Were other
Very
locations
important.
in the city considered for a warming center? I mean, outside of District 5, because District 5 is one of the poorest districts. It tends to have a lot of problems here, they're closing up where the field has no green space. I mean, there's all these different ideas here.
Well, it does have green space, but
Well, more
regardless,
field, but not-
regardless of that conversation.
Yeah, sure.
Right, there was a look
Can you
around.
identify yourself? I'm sorry.
I'm Dylan Zalazzo, I'm the mayor's director of administration.
Yeah, sure.
So there was a look around for property. This property was ultimately identified.
Sure.
We purchased it with funds that traditionally have gone to fund emergency regional shelter during
Yeah.
the winter. That shelter closed up right around COVID start, 2020, give or take.
Yeah, I remember.
So we pooled those resources, we were able to buy this building. So this is the building that we acquired.
Yeah.
So we've been working now for about a year to try to get an RFP put together for a provider to run this facility. We are close to that point now. That's a state function, so we're working with them very closely. Governor
Right.
McKee's administration, Kim Ahern's been very helpful. We're hopeful that's going out in the next week or two.
Right.
But in the meantime, we have the issues at 92 East Ave. Building's not safe to be occupied right now. We got to get through those issues. Brother Gary stepped up. He's been helping people. He's going to help people here. And we get through this weekend. And so that's the first step. So to answer the question you had kind of alluded to before, long term, that RFP process has to happen. Short term, we're opening this as a warming center, just like we would the library or the police station. That's what we're doing. So this is short-term. Brother Gary's team's going to help us run that, because this is obviously a different functionality than those traditionally, but that's why we're here today, is to get that.
Remember
up
the
and running.
trouble that they had opening, getting a vendor for the Aubrey, for instance, right?
Yes.
I mean, they had their first round went out, nobody accepted, and then they had to kind of like.
And then they brought in the National
Ada's
Guard,
house
yes.
and
Yep.
do it, the National Guard. Do you foresee problems doing something here with that? Because I know Gary wants to step up this organization, which is great, but if for some reason that doesn't come through.
They do have another location to also look after too, so
Yeah.
I guess there's.
So as I understand it, just supply is an issue relative to providers, right?
Right.
So the state has a process that they go through for providers to get on a list. I think it's an annual RFP, I could be wrong. And, then you have to deal with the amount of providers you have, right? Just like we have a set number of firefighters, we have a set number of police officers. It's the same thing there. So yes, that is a concern and a challenge. I think Brother Gary's organization, if they get on that list, fantastic, right? If they don't, how do they partner with somebody on that list? Because Brother Gary knows this community. He's been here working, doing the work. I think it's phenomenal, and that's why we're partnering with him here as well.
Mr. Zalazzo, given the structural and safety issues that were confirmed by NEASC at Shea High School, will you be contemplating closing Shea High School during the freeze tomorrow?
No.
Despite the fact that they're relying on space heaters in many of the classrooms?
Yes, so that's a decision for the superintendent and the school committee, not me or the mayor. And certainly if their facilities people think the building is fit to be open, they're going to be open.
Okay. We've been asking for fire inspection reports on Shea High School now for over a month, and we've yet to get them. We're past the ARPA process. What's the problem with the city of Pawtucket? Why won't they just easily divulge information?
Sorry, APRA?
Yeah.
So you filed an APRA?
Yeah, we filed an APRA, for something as simple as a fire inspection report. And yet the city just seems to think that APRA rules are just kind of loosey-goosey guidelines. They're not. What will it take to get fundamental reporting out of the city of Pawtucket?
Well, so that's the first I'm hearing of an APRA issue here, Pat. I'm happy to check.
I did it we brought it up at city council, but that's beside the point. Please check it out. Sure. It'd be great to have the city be as responsive as they were today on this issue.
Sure.
Are we all set? Everybody good?
Yeah, just get your names and spelling real quick.
Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N,
Yep.
Zalazo, Z-E-L-A-Z-O.
And what's your title?
Director of Administration for the city of Pawtucket.
Brother Gary, founder of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island.
Paula McFarland, M-C-F-A-R-L-A-N-D, Executive Director of the Pawtucket Housing Authority.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.